Well, good morning. The day started off really, really good. Lisa just sang it to us. Kathy Ann just reminded us of us. I'm just back from a week-long vacation with my sweetheart in Hawaii, playing in surf and sun and having a relaxing time. So it's real easy for me today to accept myself right where I am is good and all is well. Unlike 2 weeks ago on a Sunday morning, when I woke up as grumpy Don and discontented Don, it was not a good morning. And to add to the joy was the opportunity that I had, because I was also going to be on duty as a practitioner here that morning, and to lead the Men in Spirit Circle during second service. So a day full of opportunities. And being a guy, what I do, I just pull on my big boy pants, suck it up, and show up and do the best I can. And I did that morning. And until about the time as I was sitting right over here and Kathy Ann began her talk, which was about living creatively and how being consciously creative, we could change the world, we could make a difference for ourselves and beyond into the greater community. And all that I could think of and all that was going on in my mind was, yeah, that's a really great idea, and all I want to do is get through today. That would be just fine. And just like at this moment, there was a pause in my head. The voice stopped. And I had in that pause, the pause that saved me, a little bit of space. And in that space, I could remember what Carrie reminds me when I get to be grumpy and discontent, which is that's a sign that something inside of me is demanding I change, that there's a change coming, and it's okay. In that pause that saved me was also room for me to consider that I could have a different relationship this morning with grumpy and discontented Don. So I chose to, instead of fighting with it, I chose to accept myself as I was that morning and invited grumpy and discontented Don to join me in this morning's journey, in that morning's journey. I can't tell you what Kathy Ann said that morning. I'm sure it was good. I invite you to get the CD. You'll like it. But what I can tell you is what happened to me after that pause. For I was a practitioner for the prayer circle right over here that morning after the first service. And I invited grumpy and discontented Don to join me, and discontented Don stood in that circle and said, "No wimpy prayers. God is going to show up now for each person in this circle in a powerful and consciously creative way." Discontent would have nothing else. I took discontented and grumpy Don to the men's circle. "Hi, I'm Don. I'm discontented and grumpy today, so watch out." Guess what? There were 3 other guys in the same place. But instead of a spiral down from that feeling, because we were open and accepting of where we were that morning, the whole group spiraled up to a higher place. We were able to make some conscious creativity changes that day in ourselves that I know went out beyond that circle into the greater world. What I remember that morning, and will need to be reminded of again, because I'll forget, I'm human, is that creativity, that God does not require perfection to show up for us. Creativity only asks that we show up right where we are, right as we are in that moment. To pause maybe and give it a little space and see what can be possible. So what I invite you to join me in doing today if you feel stirred, if something's not working, or if it's working really well. In other words, all the time, to take a pause and see what part of you might want to join in your journey that day, and invite it to be your partner and your friend as you journey through life. Today, I invite you to consider joining me over here in the prayer circle after service. Bring your grumpy, bring your discontent, bring your joy, bring your whatevers, and we'll come together in a circle and support each other in knowing that who we are right here and right now is more than enough for anything that we want to be. Thank you for sharing this time with me.